Richician!
Hey YouTube, Dark Richician 84 here, and welcome to part 13 of my history series. At least I think it's part 13. Yeah, it is. If you can hear a humming in the background, sorry about that. Emma's cooking right now. So, we are going to talk about 2016, one of the years that we don't normally talk about, since a lot of shit things happened in 2016, but not necessarily in Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is what I'm going to talk about here. So things were off to a pretty good start, apart from one thing where I once again messed up with Vampire Kingdom in a War Rumble. In fact, I remember Alex got so annoyed with it that vampires got banned from War Rumbles. Oops. I don't think notable things happened in January and February. I guess not much really happened in the first 2 months. Mind you, March was more eventful, starting with the time when NeoNexudus actually came to visit for the first time ever. This would be the first of 4 times he'd come and visit me and the guys. So yeah, he stayed with me, and we actually went over to a Friday night casual gaming session. I don't usually go to those, especially since not many Yu-Gi-Oh! Players normally turn up, but I feel like they did a lot more back in 2015 and 16, but it wasn't easy for me. So yeah, we went down there, and he actually got to meet my dead uni friends in person, including the ones known for a long time. I believe that me, him and Timby our Battle Royale. I don't remember what NeoNexudus used, but I think Timby played Raid Raptors and I played Blackluster Soldier, which I started playing. I can't remember when I started playing that exactly. But yeah, the main purpose of his visits were to play in the regionals. Obviously, I had no interest in playing in them. I just pretty much did my own thing, really. And we did have a couple of games afterwards against his Dino Mists. One where he used Dark Richician, the other where he used Rainbow Neos, and won both games, although there was a mistake that messed up the game state in the Dark Richician game. May have been a mistake with the pendulum scales, it was something along those lines. Anyway, 1 week later, Dead Uni started holding tag team tournaments, and Konami actually brought out some official rules for those. Now, there was one rule which not a lot of people were keen on, and that was basically both decks in the team had to follow the ban list as if it was one deck, which meant that only one of us could play with Geki while the other one couldn't. Wasn't too keen on that rule. We didn't go with that very casual tag team games. So yeah, for the very first one, I decided to team up with Express Gaming. And because I was playing Dark Richician and he was playing Cosmo, we called ourselves Magician's Force, both named after the booster set Magician's Force, along with the fact that I'm playing Dark Richician, and the fact that Cosmo is based on Star Wars, and Star Wars has the Force, hence the second half of the name. And I remember we did very well in the Swiss. So there were Swiss rounds and the top 4 and above cuts. And we beat Giorgio and I think his brother. Who did we play next? I can't remember who we played against in round 2, but in round 3 we played against Martin and Louis. Not Pokemaster Cube's brother, this is a different Martin, who was playing PK Fire. And I remember being so confused at first by what he was playing. It was like, was this Speedroids? Phantom Knights? Like, what is this? Then I learned what it was. And then of course, PK Fire turned out to be a deck that I really don't like playing against. Because it O2Ks and uses backer to basically stop anyone playing. The Speedroids on their own I like, Phantom Knights on their own I like, and Burning Abyss on their own I don't mind, but it's just PK Fire I don't like, as I've said many times before. But yeah, we lost against them. I don't remember who else we played against in Swiss, but I do remember that we did make top 4 and faced Martin and Louis again, and then there was some confusion, well not really confusion, a debate regarding how gauze worked.
You're not going to like me.
Oh, it's blending time.
Can I do it?
Yeah, go on then. Let's rev it up! Sorry about the noise.
And we're done. Sorry.
That's alright.
I have to make loads of noise, it's me.
Yeah, looks like...
Do you want one?
Sure, I'll try a bit, yeah. The love of my life is making a smoothie.
And food.
Here she is.
Love you.
Love you too. I'm just talking about my Yu-Gi-Oh life in 2016. And oh, that looks good.
And Bobby wants to see you.
Where is it? Yes, this is Bobby.
Wait.
Say hi to YouTube. Or just look at Emma. That's fine too.
She loves me.
So
she loves her mum more.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah, we're having chicken and rice, if you're wondering. So yeah, as I was saying, there was a debate regarding how gauze work, and Louis seemed to think it was an inherent special summon, but I said, no, it's not. It's an effect to special summoners. Yeah, I had to... So we had to call a judge over, and I had to show him the gauze that was in my hand, which kind of gave us away, but then he was like, oh, this is an old printing, so then we had to look it up. Like, God's sake. Ooh, what's this, strawberry and banana smoothie?
A bit of yogurt, a bit of cinnamon and coconut milk.
Oh, nice. Whoa.
Like it?
Yeah, I think I taste the strawberry more. Oh wait, now I do taste the banana.
And coconut.
Can't taste the coconut. Yeah, that's nice. I like it.
Bit of yogurt in there. I'm just trying to use bits up because otherwise it will go off.
Fair enough.
But I do make smoothies more now.
So anyway, we lost that match. Oh, that's something else.
Any more?
Yeah, go on then. That's something else about these official tag team tournament duels. They were done as best of 1 games, which makes sense considering each team is starting with 16,000 life points. But it doesn't make sense.
Come on.
still, yeah, the tag team tournament was still good fun all the same. So a few weeks later we did another one, which I kind of wasn't sure about entering, because at the time I was considering just quitting tournaments again after not doing great in another one, but I went with it anyway. But this time I teamed up with Alex, and he brought in his Yang Zings, and I thought about using Dark Richician again, but I decided to have a go with Rainbow Neos instead to see how that went. And I do remember all the matches. First we went up against Express Gaming and Shieldwing David. As usual, Shieldwing David was playing Store Wings while Express Gaming was playing Cosmo. Before I continue, I must point out that a few months earlier, I did finally win some games against Cosmo. I managed to win against it with Elemental Heroes and Evil Heroes in some casual gameplay, which was crazy to me. It was like, why is it that I could beat this deck with those two hero decks, but would struggle with Dark Richician and Rainbow Neos, which are supposed to be my best two decks? But this time it was a different story though, and I did an incredible move for my second turn, and I went Polymerization, fuse Neos with Rainbow Dragon, drop Rainbow Neos, activate Fusion Recovery, so return Polymerization and one of those fusion materials to my hand, and then I fusion summoned a second one, whereas Alex was like, oh my god, I'm being carried by Rainbow Neos and his brother Rainbow Neos. So yeah, I spun away their cards and hit them for 9,000. And then David practically made me cry by activating Lightning Vortex and got rid of both of them. I don't remember what Alex did on his next turn, but on my turn I brought out the Shiny, and I remember Express Gaming had a Slip Rider on the field, and I remember being worried about Honest, because I knew in the earlier days that Express Gaming was playing Cosmo, he did run Honest in the deck, because there were a lot of light monsters in there as well as dark ones. I mean, there was something I could do if worse came to worse. So I attacked, but instead of being met with an Honest, I was met with Magic Cylinder. So we still had plenty of life points, but they couldn't do much. And then I eventually finished them off with a field of both Absolute Zero and the Shining. So off to a good start. In round 2, we played against Ollie and Marley. Yeah, it was round about this point where I met another Max. Yeah, this was round about the time I first met him. And I think Marley was playing Exodia while Ollie was playing Galaxy Photons. Because I was wary of Exodia. I had a plan to try to get Rainbow Neos out and try spinning stuff back to the deck just to slow them down and stop them assembling Exodia. Although Alex then did something even better and synchro summoned Trishula and banished one of the pieces. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's Exodia out of the way. And then we won the match. Now, in the next one, we were up against Kieran and who else? Was it Sean? It might have been. They were playing Magispectors and Burning Abyss, I think. Now, I remember there was one point where I did make a misplay, which I was worried would cost us the game, but it didn't. Now, Alex did have a plan to get rid of Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, and I was trying to help him and use breakthrough skill, thinking it would stop them floating for Dante. So yeah, it was kind of a mistake, although at the same time it did force whoever was playing Burning Abyss to use Beatrice's effect. It was okay though. That mistake didn't completely mess us up, and Alex won us the match. So yeah, fourth and final round, and there was no top cut this time. We were up against Weber's 5 and Sam. And Sam was also playing Yangzings.
Do you remember these?
Yeah, shrimps, right?
Yeah, the sea monkeys. They belong to Ruth. Yeah, the sea monkeys.
Check this out.
I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah, they can see it just about. Oh.
Yeah, swimming around. Cute, aren't they?
Yeah, and Weber's 5 was playing Odd Eyes Magician. Actually, backtracking to the last round, no, we didn't wipe out their life points. We won on end of match procedure, and we managed to win by 200 points. Very close. Anyway, back to the round 4 match. So yeah, I think I vaguely remember making another mistake which almost cost us the game, although I don't remember what it was that we did. I know that Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon caused Alex a load of problems, and I tried to get rid of it with Rainbow Neos with his effect, but that got stopped by Janky Magician. It was fine, because I was still able to destroy the Meteor Burst in battle. There was also a point where one of them activated Upstart Goblin, and the funny thing was, this would ultimately cost them the match, because time on the round had been called, and I think the last turn was Sam's, and she was taking a while trying to figure out what to do, and I was just on the edge of my seat, just thinking, oh my god, do something! In the end, there was nothing they could do, so yeah, me and Alex managed to win for end of match procedure, and as a result, we won the tag team tournament. So at long last, I finally won a tournament with Rainbow Neos after almost 8 years of trying and failing. But naturally, I couldn't have done it without my tag partner. A week after that was when NeoNexudus came to visit for the second time, because there was another regional going on at Dead Uni. So yeah, we had a few games before going to another Friday night gaming session, and I played against his Pepe deck, which I did do quite well against, but lost the whole match. But that wasn't what he was going to play in that regional. He was going to play Monarchs. That's okay. So yeah, while he was doing... before that though, so we went off to the casual gaming session. I didn't record any games for some reason, but what I do remember was that me, him, Davies, Timby, and I think Code, then went off to watch Captain America Civil War, and then Davies took me and Liam back to mine. Then we had the regionals the following day. Naturally, I was with the casuals, because again, fuck regionals. I don't remember how we did though. But then the following day we did have a few other games before we had to go back home. A week after that, Dead Universe Comics was celebrating Free Comic Book Day, and the celebrations were in the shopping centre, and what Alex did was host a little demonstration mini tournament thing after teaching some younger players how to play. Yeah, I joined in with the demonstration tournament and took Elemental Heroes into it just to try my luck with those again. But we only did 3 rounds of Swiss, and in the first round I went up against Marley, who was bouldering Ryan's Chronomaly deck. That's something I forgot to mention about 2015. That was when I first interacted with Ryan and became friends with him. I did see him around game nights in 2014, but it wasn't until 2015 that we properly met and interacted. And we're just friends ever since. I think he entered it as well, but I never played against him. As for Marley with Chronomalies, I managed to win against him with not too many problems, with some help from good old Flame Wingman. In round 2, I played against Weber's 5, who was playing Draco Slayers. I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but I had an easier time of it than I thought, and won that as well. Then third and final round, I got paired against Bailey with Raid Raptors, and it did go to a third game. I don't remember who won games 2 and 3 respectively, but I do remember game 3 quite well. He had control of the board with Ultimate Falcon. I managed to bust out Shining Flare Wingman, which had enough points to take down Ultimate Falcon. So I went to attack and destroy it, thinking I had a game and the tournament in the bag, but he banished Raid Raptor Readiness and saved itself. Motherfucker. Then on his turn he brought out Revolution Falcon and destroyed my Shining Flare Wingman. And then on my next turn I drew into Fiendish Chain, which I thought could buy me another turn. It didn't. He then Big Rank Up Magic Skip Force, changed it into Satellite Cannon Falcon, and yeah, that won him the game.
This is Rose Harissa Pace chicken.
Oh, nice.
It's nice. I really thank you. That's why I love Sainsbury's. They have everything.
I'll have to edit this. Yeah, with this, I couldn't activate Fiendish Chain in response. Unfortunately, and then, yeah, once again I finished second with Elemental Heroes, and I would have won that tournament if it wasn't for Raid Raptor Readiness. Anyway, I shall continue this once I've eaten. I'll be right back.
Here we are.
And now that I've eaten, I will continue with the story. So, I guess the next thing after that was the first tag team tournament. So, once again, me and Alex teamed up, which made sense because reigning champions. But our defence wasn't great to start off with. We lost against a team playing both Monarchs and Cosmo. It was like great, 2 hated decks, and we struggled a lot against them and lost against them. We won the rest of the Swiss rounds though.
Jump on your top.
Oh yeah, that's
I got
nice.
that in the Sainsbury's. Sorry.
It's okay.
You can talk now.
Okay.
I just want to go behind you.
So, one matchup I remember. What? Why do I feel?
Oh.
Really?
It wasn't cold enough.
That's what you wanted to do.
Not the whole day, no.
I'm not that bad.
He's trying to prank me again.
Well, you made me,
I'll lose the game.
I'll get you back for that.
You already did though, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah, one other Swiss match I remember us having was against Express Gaming and Shieldwing David again. David used the same deck again, but this time Express Gaming was playing Lunar Lights. Yeah, he'd not long started playing those. This was about the time when they came into the game. Well, we managed to win against them. And then made the top four, because there was a top four cut again this time. And we went up against Code and Timby. Timby was playing Raid Raptors. Code was playing, I think, Dark Pepe, because I remember him summoning Odd Eye's Vortex Dragon and Hope Harbinger. And yeah, because he did, we just couldn't do anything. Two monsters just stopping us from being able to play, and there was just nothing we could do to get around them. I mean, I had a breakthrough skill which I could... You okay?
Yeah. I'm tripping over stuff.
I had a breakthrough skill which could stop one of them, but it wasn't enough. And yeah, just like that, we lost our title. All because of 2 negates.
Oh.
So annoying.
Someone's sock got washed again.
So I'm getting in the way.
Okay.
Let's see. What was the next thing that happened after that? Yeah, around about this point, I decided to rebuild my Destiny heroes. Because they'd made an appearance in the Arc 5 anime at that point, only we didn't have Destiny or Dystopia yet. So I had to just use a few Xyz monsters while playing them the old-fashioned way. Actually, also around about this time was when I changed the way I played Dark Richician. Now, earlier in the year... Oh, I am going to finish that, by the way. Or you could.
Go.
Now, earlier in the year, I heard about the Dark Magician support that would come out in the Dark Illusion. And I heard about Eternal Soul beforehand and was just waiting impatiently for that to come to the TCG. But it was nice to see it get support. But before it came out, I decided to play Pendulum Dark Magician. So basically it involved putting in the Pendulum Magician monsters that we had at the time, plus a playset of this Pendulum Dragon. Yeah, that deck worked beautifully. I took it into a tournament, did quite well in Swiss, actually not quite well, very well. I won against Masked Heroes. I lost against Monarchs, who were played by Swanee. And I believe I did win all my other games. Another one, I don't remember, but I did win against Cyphranes. Cyphranes being an annoying, trolly anti-meta deck that nobody likes playing against. In fact, I remember Express Gaming actually getting really annoyed with that deck. And then I got pitted against it. And it was Little George that was using it, by the way. But I did manage to take it to a third game somehow. And then, after a struggle, I won the match. and I actually did make top 4. So yeah, at long last I topped in a tournament that wasn't a tag team tournament. I went up against Swanee again, only this time I had better luck against him. I wish I could describe more how the match went, and it doesn't help that I don't have that match on my channel. Actually, no. I didn't even record it for my channel because the battery died, but Whisper in the Wind did. He put that on his channel, and I think the final as well.
I'm going to put this
There.
on. Oh, thanks. It's full up now. I'll put it on.
So as I was saying, I won the match, which was just incredible. Considering that Swanee was at the time one of the best players in the UK. I don't know if he still plays or not, but yeah, it was just incredible. And then I went up against another very good pro player, JY, in the final, and he was playing PK Fire, and yeah, I got steamrolled. Yeah, Fog Blade just ruined me. But still, it was nice to finally make top 2 for the first time in God knows how long. A week later there was another tournament, but with less players there, and this would be the first time I met Hazel, actually. And when I first met him, he was playing a Blue Eyes deck. That's something I should also point out. Shining Darkness came about and gave Blue Eyes White Dragon really insane support, and then we'd get Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon in the Dark Side of Dimensions movie pack. And I managed to win against him with not too many problems. I think I managed to win against George again, still playing Psy-Frames. But I did lose my other games though, one of which was against Timby with Rage Raptors. I don't remember what my other loss was against. But what I do remember was that in one of the rounds there was a Psy-Frame mirror match. And that's one of the worst mirror matches ever, so I think we had to wait for a while for them. And then not much happened for like a couple of weeks, until a tournament where I really had some great success. So played Pendulum Dark Richician in a tournament where I went 4 wins, 1 loss in Swiss. My only loss was against Burning Abyss, which was being played by Arthur. What am I looking at?
That's with the 2 window roofs there. That's James and Becky's house. I was trying to work it out.
Okay.
I saw her in the garden once.
So yeah, I lost that despite the fact that I sided in Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, which is one of my top 6 favourite hand traps. I thought I could use this to get rid of extra deck monsters that I don't like. Now, I don't hate Dante, Traveller of the Burning Abyss, never did, but I sided it in anyway to stop them going off. But I didn't even draw into it, and 3 Dantes hit the board. It's like, great, my side deck card is useless. But I did win my other matches though. I wish I could remember what they were. Wouldn't this be annoying if I remember some point after I stopped recording? That'd be typical, wouldn't it? But what I do remember though was making top 4 again, and I remember top 4 was me, Starren, Katie, his other half from back then, and someone else. Then there was an interesting scenario that happened. The other guy basically had to leave and couldn't play out the top four, so Katie made the final. So me and Starren played, and I think we only played 2 games. I won game 1. No, he won game 1, sorry. And then I won game 1 with help from Mind Drain, because yeah, they can't, Cyframes can't do shit under Mind Drain. It was great. And we didn't play game 3 purely because Starren then had to leave, and so did Katie for some reason. And then, because they had to leave and the other guy had dropped out, it meant that by default I won the whole tournament, which was awesome. I remember Connor cheering and being like, "Yes, Richie!" So that was just awesome. And now this would be the last time I'd play Pendulum Dark Magician in a tournament, despite the fact that it was a very successful one. After that came the Dark Illusion Sneak Peek, which I did actually enter. Now I don't normally enter sneak peeks anymore. In fact, I stopped in 2012 actually, and didn't want to play in them anymore, because it's like either I just completely scrub out or not pull any hollows. Then again, by 2016 you were of course guaranteed a hollow in every main set pack. So yeah, I went along to that in a bid to get the Dark Magician stuff, but I just had the absolute worst luck. Although I did pull a hollow or 2, I didn't pull any Dark Magician cards, not even any of the rares or commons. Yeah, that just really annoyed me. And that's another reason why I don't play in sneak peeks, because you might not pull the cards you want. And then I dropped out. But a few other players were nice enough to trade or sell me certain cards I wanted. Then a week later, me and Express Gaming opened 9 boxes of the Dark Illusion, and I was given prize packs for winning that tournament with Pendulum Dark Magician. We just decided to wait on. I was given a choice of packs of Shining Darkness or the Dark Illusion when it came out, and I chose the Dark Illusion, of course. Now originally the plan was for the 2 of us to open a case, but we didn't have enough between us for one, so we just settled with 9 boxes. And now the rather annoying thing about this box opening was that Express Gaming also wanted Dark Magician stuff, which kind of made it harder for the both of us to get them. Which is generally why, if people go halves on a box or a case, it's better to go for different cards. So yeah, I was desperately trying to pull some dark magical circles. Magician's Navigation was easy to pull, but yeah, out of 9 boxes, only 2 circles were pulled, and he pulled one in like one of the first 2 or 3 of his boxes, and I just wasn't having any luck pulling one, but eventually I did. Then I opened my packs afterwards, the prize packs, and pulled a circle from them. I was like, yes, that's my play set. Of course, I needed a few other cards for the deck still. Dark Magic Veil and Mahard. So yeah, I finally had the support, but unfortunately I was just struggling to make the deck work very well. I found it was too difficult to play without Eternal Soul, which we didn't even get yet, not until Legendary Decks number 2. Yeah, I had to wait a while on that. And then came another tag team tournament. Actually, no, there were 2 others. There was one where, actually, I used my elemental heroes in both of those. One where I teamed up with Rai playing Kaijus, and another one where I was back teaming up with Express Gaming. I was playing Lunar Lights, but I think in both of those we only won 1 match. Shame, really. And then eventually Legendary Decks number 2 dropped, and I got Eternal Soul from it, and I was very happy about that. And then I ended up buying 2 other copies off eBay, I think. So yeah, now I finally got my pure Dark Magician deck running just how I wanted it, really. But of course it would struggle against Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, a ritual monster that I used to hate a lot, because there was fuck all ways to deal with it back then. So yeah, key words here, used to. So don't worry, Express Gaming and Matt and Alison Welch, I don't hate Chaos Max even more. In fact, I even play it in my Magician of Chaos deck. Because yeah, you can just cheat it out with Magician of Chaos. Anyway, yeah, and obviously Eternal Soul was vulnerable to back row removal, and like I keep saying, I wish it didn't have that drawback. I mean, it's just so pointless and unfair. Well, this is an example of Dark Magician kind of getting the short straw compared to the support Blue Eyes gets, although Red Eyes gets an even shorter straw. There's too many unnecessary drawbacks with the Red Eyes support, whereas Dark Magician is in the middle, I find. Yeah, I was then back to just not faring so well with Dark Magician in tournaments again. I win 2 or 3 matches though, but that would be it really. Anyway, another tag team tournament happened, teamed up with Express Gaming again. He stuck with Lunar Lights, I believe, and I went with Dark Magician, but we just didn't do very well. We lost our first 2 rounds, and I think we did win the rest of them. Or were they just 3 matches? I can't remember. I know we faced Starren and Katie in round 1 and lost against them. Then we lost against Matt, as in the one I met in 2015, and someone else. And then in the next round we faced Shieldwing David, who was paired up with this other guy, playing a pendulum deck. Yeah, that was our only win. So, yeah, not a great run, unfortunately. After that, I did a challenge with my top 18 favourite decks. Yeah, it was top 18 at the time, as opposed to top 60. Well, I'd played them in royales and tournaments in reverse chronological order to see how far I'd get. I didn't do too badly with Sky Scourge Karibo in a royale, but didn't win that. And then round about this time I actually had problems with my camera. Yeah, there was something wrong with the recording screen. It just wasn't displaying properly. And because it wasn't, it meant that I couldn't use it. So that kind of put me out of action regarding recording videos. So I couldn't do that until either I'd get that camera repaired or get a new one. So after that there was a tournament, and obviously I couldn't record my games, and I played my vampires in this one. I think this would be the 3rd time I played it in a tournament. Oh, and also by this point, vampires had been unbanned from royales. And Alex admitted that he only did it just because he was annoyed. But I got better with Kingdom. I wasn't making mistakes with it anymore. Well, not that much anyway. Yeah. I think my progress with vampires was so-so. Yeah, I lost against ABCs and 2 Lightsworn decks. Well, I did win my other rounds though, one of which was against this other guy playing a Dark Richician deck. I don't remember what my other win was against. I had better luck in a royale that happened afterwards. I played Crystal Beasts and beat everyone involved with 2 Rainbow Dragons. After that, Express Gaming let me borrow his camera, so I recorded games with that, but the only problem was it was randomly stopping itself recording for some reason. So yeah, that was really annoying, but I was able to record some games at least. Yeah, a royale was filmed where I played my machine deck, and ended up finishing joint second with James, who was playing Yang Zings. And yeah, this is the same James that played a bunch of past format decks against me, like Benkei, OTK, Golem Seal, Zork, things like that. I forgot to mention that I first met him in July 2015. Like, that was when he first came down. But yeah, before that, Alex and another George were eliminated, and Weber's 5 won the whole thing with his Odd Eyes Magician deck. After that was when NeoNexudus came to visit for the 3rd time, yeah, rather interestingly, I won every single game I had with him that we did have. Well, almost. So I beat his Volcanic Train deck with Dark Richician. Then I beat his Chaos Max deck with my Pure Blue Eyes deck. And then I won against his Dark Magician deck with my Legendary Hero deck. Then we went down to another game night, and there was a Raw Rumble where I played Destiny Heroes, Bailey played Crystal Beast, and George played Blue Eyes. Oh, and NeoNexudus was playing Herald, which is what he planned to use in the regional. And of course that happens to be my most hated deck in the game, and yeah, that caused a lot of problems, but George had to scoop because he needed to go. I got taken out, but then Bailey defeated NeoNexudus. I think that was mainly because Herald had used up all its resources by that point, so Bailey took advantage, and one of my favourite decks defeated my most hated. So then the regional happened the following day. There was like fuck all space for anyone not playing in the regional. Of course, as time went on, a few players dropped out, so eventually me and Express Gamer were able to have some games, but I don't think I uploaded any of them that I tried to record, because I had so many issues with that camera. The following day, I had a couple of other games with NeoNexudus before he had to go, one of which was a classic clash of Dark Magician against Red Eyes Black Dragon, and he FTK'd me in game 1 with combinations of Inferno Fire Blast and Meteor Black Comet Dragon, but I won games 2 and 3. And after that, Alex stopped working at Did Uni for reasons that I'm not sure I should discuss. Yeah, my goal continued. And some point around this time was when I first met Steve, a good friend of Hazel's. I don't remember when I first played against him. It's interesting. Yeah, I continued playing in War Rumbles with my favourite decks, continuing the challenge. Yeah, I used Evil Heroes and Neos Wise Man next, but didn't win those. So, and then like there was this other royale where I could have won, but I made a huge misplay because one of us was playing Galaxy Photons. I don't remember which one of us was. All I remember was that it was a freeway between me, James and Bailey, and James fell first and Bailey won, all because I misplayed. Then sometime after that, we move on to December. I took Neospatians to a tournament, which wasn't preferable. I would have preferred to play a better deck, but in a royale like a few days before, I played, well, actually 2 royales. I played Utopia and Warriors. Of course, the Warrior game was a struggle because I was stuck behind some Dark Lords. Yeah, by this point they got more support, and so did Destiny Heroes, which was great for me. Yeah, too many beat sticks were being brought out, which I couldn't get around. And I lost the whole thing. I believe James was playing them. Weber's 5 was in this game as well, but I don't remember what he played. All I remember was that it meant I had to use Neospatians in the next tournament, but I actually did alright considering. But I was off to a bad start. I got pitted against JY. I think he was still playing Light Swans and he 2-0'd me. Then I beat someone else, don't remember who. Then I lost against someone playing Metal Foes, I think. Then came one of the most memorable games ever. I played against a guy playing ABCs, and I remember I lost game 1, but I managed to win game 2. I'm trying to remember how I did it exactly. I can just about remember game 3 though. He went first and flipped up anti-spell against me, which wasn't great for me, so I had to set near enough everything I had. And he got out Dragon Buster, ABC Dragon Buster, and he destroyed my monster, which was Dark Panther. And then I tried to banish the Dragon Buster with System Down, which I had face down. But he chained Book of Eclipse to flip it face down so it wouldn't get banished. I did have a way around it though. I flipped up Miracle Contact, brought out Dark Neos, and I think I had Neospace on the field, which I flipped face up, which meant I could run over the Dragon Buster, and I summoned Prisma, I think, or Neosalius, and attacked with both. But he couldn't make a comeback. He could have done if it wasn't for anti-spell fragrance, but yeah. I managed to win the whole thing, despite anti-spell being a thing. Yeah, that was just crazy. I never thought I'd win against ABCs with Neospatians of all things, not in a million years. Yeah, that was one of my best moments ever. Yes, Neospatians once again defeating the meta, and keep in mind this was long before it got the support from Savage Strike, plus that one card from Cybernetic Horizon. No, Yes, Cybernetic Horizon. Then I played against Express Gaming and Steve in a while with my Red Eyes Black Dragon deck. Steve was playing Paleozoic Frog. Express Gaming was playing Dark Lords, and despite both these decks being very tough, I managed to beat the both of them. In fact, I made a big eye and took a Dark Lord monster. I might have a photo actually, but I'll have to scroll up very far. But yeah, it was the first ever time I won something with Red Eyes, which was awesome. I think I'm almost there. No, that's not it. That's not it either, I think. Or did I not take a photo of it? Oh, never mind, I thought I did. Oh well. Let's see. After that, I played a Neos Beatdown in a Royale and finished second, only losing to someone playing PK Fluffles. Yeah, pretty much a PK Fire deck, but it ran some Edge Imp monsters. Yeah, everyone else got taken out. That's all I can remember. This did mean that I would play Blue Eyes White Dragon in the tournament. This was the 4th time I'd play it, and the goal was to win 3 or more rounds, and I managed it. Oh, so I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, one loss was against a friend of mine playing Subterrors. Because I think in game 1 I got OTK'd, and in game 2 a Vanity's Emptiness shot me down. That was annoying. I don't remember what my other loss was against, but I did win 3 other rounds, one of which was for end of match procedure, the other was against Shield Wing David, and this would be a rematch from over 4 years previously. This was what I used when he started playing Storm Wings, and in both games I finished him off with Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. But yeah, I did manage to win 3 matches, but I didn't top, which was unfortunate. Then there was another Raw Rumble. This might have been the last game night of the year, or the second night, but I know this was the last time I played in a Royale. Hey you.
What are you doing? I'm taking forever.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm almost finished though. I'm on December now.
Hey, Bobby.
But yeah, in this war I played with Legendary Hero, and a few tough decks were involved, including Odd Eyes Magician, Paleozoic Frogs, and a couple of others. I love you too. But I did get out Dark Richician, Elemental Hero Escarina, and Great Tornado at one point. I think I may have Super Polyed an Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon and made Great Tornado. I can't remember. But what I do remember was winning the whole thing. So yeah, Legendary Hero has some success once again. And what the fuck is that?
Revenge.
Oh, nice catch. Should have seen that coming.
Yeah, I'm not that cruel. He
you're-
made me lose the game. That's not why I came down. I wanted to actually see you because
I know this is taking a while, but I'm almost finished.
I know. Conan's been talking to me because he's asking me to join some group.
Oh yeah, the Phasmophobia one.
It's in a separate message that I can keep up with. That'd be a pretty cute photo, actually.
Would be. I think that actually covers 2016 actually, because not much happened after that. The more eventful stuff happens at the start of 2017, which I'll talk about in the next video. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next part. Oi! Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Dark Richician YouTube channel.